Don't expect to see anything of Kate and William till at least September because, as usual, they take the whole of the summer off. Not as though they do much work in the rest of the time, but that's a whole other story. Angry William's behaviour reportedly tearing Kate apart, as sources claim she doesn't know what to do and her husband is consumed by bitterness. And these headlines, bitterness, revenge, unhappiness, anger, temper, these headlines are surrounding William and they have been for years. There is something behind these headlines. People are not just making this stuff up. What's going on in their household? Are they together? Are they apart? Has she finally given him the elbow, or they're giving each other the elbow because they just can't stand to be around each other? Probably all of that and a whole lot too. This guy is the future unelected state of the UK, and most of the time he looks absolutely miserable as sin, or really angry, or completely out of place and uncomfortable, as though he cannot wait to get back to his taxpayer-funded Disney lifestyle.
Why doesn't the press, the media, the British journalists, the British public talk about this photo? They won't talk about it. I wonder why. This was the 19th of November. This is when they were just arriving at the Royal Variety performance, the Royal Albert Hall. This was just before they were about to get out the car. Look at William's face. Don't tell me that he is a happily married man. This is a man that's got sick of his wife saying the same old garbage for the last 24 years. He's sick of her. He's tired, he's angry, he's annoyed, he's had enough. He's bored. This is a man that is bored with his wife. He wants something else. Look at that face. If this was Harry and Meghan, if this was Harry in that car, the media would be all over it. But because it's William and Kate, nothing. Absolutely nothing. Not a whisker. Look at her face. Is this the face of a woman that's got 3 healthy children, marriage, extensive properties, 5 houses, money, wealth, status, clothes, you name it? That face doesn't agree with what I've just said. That doesn't agree with everything that she's got. I've just named everything that she's got, yet she looks absolutely miserable. Why is that? Is that because she knows that he has got mistresses on the side? We all know about them, but the press aren't allowed to talk about them because he has injunctions on them and super injunctions. So you're not even allowed to mention it because you get taken to court. She can feel William's suffering. He's had enough of this woman. He doesn't love Kate. All this, oh, they're madly in love. They hate each other. Because if they were madly in love, this photo would not be here. This photo would be a photo of them smiling, beaming, all touchy-touchy. No. Look at his face. His eyes are down. He looks absolutely deflated. His mouth's it's not no smiling. Kate looks very gaunt, tense, stressed, worried. We all know what a temper William has. We know now. He hits the behind the scenes, domestic violence, DV. I'll just say it because you might as well, it's so obvious. But how can people say that this is a happy marriage? It just screams separation, divorce. Don't tell me that she's happy. How can you think Kate Middleton looks happy there? She looks absolutely stressed out. Looks like she's had the whole world. It's like the whole world has come crumbling down on her in this photo. Neither of them look happy. And also I saw at the Royal Variety performance how he walked off up the steps and Kate followed a few minutes behind him, but he just left her, he didn't care. And I just thought, they're going to a Royal Variety performance, which is joking, laughter. How are they going to manage to pull pretending to be happy when they're acting like this? Because you might see the photos of them laughing up in the box, but here, this is how they're really feeling. This is how the Prince and Princess of Wales are really feeling. And it's quite thankful that the photographer got this, because without this, there'd have just been positive photos. But this one just slams all the others out the park. This is how Kate really feels behind the scenes. This is Kate's true behaviour behind the scenes. She's not happy. She's not a happy bunny. Don't tell me that this is a woman that's happy that she's got 3 children, a loving husband, dogs, houses. It's not. It doesn't mean anything to Kate, because she would be ecstatic. She'd be on cloud 9. She used to be on cloud 9, but we all know why she's not on cloud 9 anymore. William, mistresses, pegging, etc. But if this was Harry and Meghan, this would be front page. Oh, did you see the Duke and Duchess of Sussex? They're arriving at the Royal Variety performance. Harry looked absolutely fed up with the woman. Meghan looked stressed and tense. But because it's Kate and William, we're not going to discuss this photo. But they need to. Because this is them 24 years of knowing each other. How can people say that this couple could survive another 50 years when they're going to be the reign of the monarch? How are they going to survive another 50 years in each other's presence, pretending, doing engagements, doing events? How are they going to cope? This is 24 years of knowing each other. You put another 50 years on that. How are they going to cope? Their marriage was dead long ago. I'd say their marriage was dead in 2015. But they've been forced to stay together because of the monarchy. They'll know it will go under. So what they've done is, William's obviously said, look, I can't be around the woman anymore. I hate her. I despise her. I got fed up with her. So I'll get her a place, Forest Lodge. I'll pay for everything. Hence why we've got Kate buying 18-seater dining room tables at the crack of dawn in the morning, strange times that all the deliveries come to the premises, and that's the deal. That's her divorce settlement. But it's going to be a private divorce. They can't announce it to the public because they know the crown will just be over, and also it would make Harry and Meghan look right, and they'd be the actual people that would be of significant interest then, because the fairy tale's gone. You can just see the fairy tale. If you go back to the 2011 marriage photo and you compare it to this, and then you have one with baby George outside the Lindo wing, it's completely gone, that fairy tale. It's dead. They're dead between the eyes. There's no communication, there's no touching, there's no loving gaze, and they're supposed to be madly in love. That's why when you see them go out and touching, they've been told to touch. They've been instructed by the men in the grey suits. You've got to touch Kate on the back. You've got to touch William on the back. They've been told to do it. So stop saying that Kate is rubbing his back. She's been told to do it. Because if she doesn't, then people think, oh, something's wrong in their marriage. Hence why they've been told to touch. Because people would cotton on, there's something seriously wrong with these two. But again, this is the Royal Variety performance just before they get out of the car, and they just look miserable as sin. Kate looks old, she looks a good 60 there. William looks like he's had enough, he's got the weight of the world on his shoulders. That's what happens when you lie, and you've got a secret past behind closed doors. Kate's got her secrets as well. And I think this is how you end up when you've done a forced marriage. William didn't want to marry Kate. Carol kept pestering him, when are you going to make an honest woman out of my daughter? She stalked him for 10 years. The poor bloke had enough at the time, thought, I'll just have to marry her because she's getting on my nerves. This isn't true love. This was an orchestrated marriage by Carol Middleton and Kate Middleton. Swapped the gap year, changed university, stalked him everywhere, went out to all the same nightclubs as William so she could meet him and get him jealous. They break up, she wears a slutty outfit, they get back together. They break up again. She goes and sleeps with him. They get back together. See, it's not a normal marriage. It wasn't a normal relationship. She won William through sex and lust. You need connection in a relationship. If you don't have that connection, this is how it ends up like. And I think Harry and Meghan saw this photo, hence why we had that video of them dancing in their garden in Montecito. They know how miserable these two are and they're reveling in it. They love it because it's almost like that's good enough for them because they're having a happy life in Montecito, and seeing this just makes them so happy. These two deserve to be miserable for what they did to Harry and Meghan. She deserves to be miserable for chasing the prince for 10 years. She was a social climber and she still is. People won't talk about it, but don't go on about Harry and Meghan's marriage. Talk about this marriage, because that's where the problem is.
My amazing squaddies, thanks for tuning in. Happy Tuesday. Look at this headline. Angry William's behaviour reportedly tearing Kate apart as sources claim she doesn't know what to do as her husband is consumed with bitterness. Come on now. Imagine living in a literal palace, sitting on generational wealth that could buy a small country, and still walking around the living room stomping your feet because you're mad at the world. Consumed with bitterness? Over what? You got castles, you got tiaras. Your main job description is literally showing up to ribbon cuttings, waving at people, and looking polite for 45 minutes before taking a private helicopter back home. If regular people acted like this, the landlord would be knocking on the door with an eviction notice by 5 p.m. Think about it. Out here in the real world, folks are working back-to-back 12-hour shifts, dodging traffic, trying to figure out how a block of cheese costs $12 now, and still somehow managing not to tear their partner apart with bad vibes. Meanwhile, this dude is brooding in a 50-room mansion like a villain in a low-budget fantasy show. And Kate doesn't know what to do? Girl, you have a staff. Send him to his own wing of the estate. You guys have enough square footage that you don't even have to smell his moodiness until 2028. Here's the real takeaway for the rest of us. Money buys you gold spoons, but it clearly doesn't buy you peace of mind. When your whole life is built on keeping up appearances and nursing ancient family feuds, even a billionaire palace turns into a gilded pressure cooker. Bottom line, the next time your boss gets on your nerves or rent comes due, just remember, somewhere in England, a prince is sitting on a velvet sofa sulking, surrounded by historical artifacts, absolutely miserable. Pass the popcorn. When you read headlines like that, it definitely sounds less like a fairy tale marriage and more like two roommates trapped in a high-stakes PR contract. Loving someone usually means wanting to make their life easier, not stomping around the castle making them stressed out and miserable. Whether it's true or just classic tabloid drama, it definitely strips away the whole picture-perfect royal romance mask real quick.
Let's talk about that photo for a minute. The British media is acting like everything is totally normal, but the body language is screaming. William looks straight up miserable, bored out of his mind, completely annoyed, and looking anywhere except at his own wife. The whole vibe of that picture is pure tension. You could cut it with a knife. He looks like a guy who's totally bitter with his life, leaving everyone asking, is this a man who wants out? Is he looking for something more? And of course, the second people see that face, the old rumours start flying around again. Everyone's thinking about Lady Rose Hanbury and wondering what's really going down behind those velvet palace curtains. Regular people see that look all the time. That is the universal face of a guy forced to go to an awkward family dinner he tried to fake an illness to get out of. Out here, if you look that detached and sour around your partner at a public event, your friends are texting you under the table asking if you need a place to crash tonight. But because they're royalty, they have to stand there in $5,000 coats pretending they aren't completely sick of each other while the camera flashes go off. It's hilarious how the press tries to spin the magic, but a photo like that spills the real tea. It shows that no amount of fancy titles or crown jewels can cover up a dead-end vibe. You can buy the biggest castle in the world, but you can't buy genuine chemistry or hide a dead marriage when the camera catches you slipping. They can put on the fancy outfits and pretend it's all smiles for the cameras, but that picture proves one thing. Behind the gates, it's just pure drama. Grab your snacks, folks, because the facade is cracking wide open.
People keep saying the palace controls the story. Really? In 2026? Come on now. That might have worked back when people waited for tomorrow's newspaper to tell them what to think. Those days are gone. Now, the internet moves faster than Palace PR ever could. Before an official photographer has even packed up the camera, someone's already slowed the footage down, zoomed in 400%, circled every awkward glance with a red arrow, and posted it online. 5 minutes later, the comment section is throwing punches. That's the world we're living in. And here's the funny part, squaddies. The Palace can schedule the walkabout, they can choose the backdrop, they can make sure everybody smiles when the cameras click. But they can't climb through millions of phone screens and tell people what they're allowed to notice. That's where the whole operation starts wobbling. See, regular people aren't robots. We know when something feels a little off. You don't need a degree for that. You don't need somebody on TV explaining it with fancy words. We've all been around that couple at work who swear everything is amazing, then spend the whole office party standing on opposite sides of the room. Folks notice. That's just human nature. And social media? Social media doesn't let anything breathe. One photo turns into 50 opinions. One video becomes 10,000 reactions. One awkward moment becomes the internet's favorite hobby for the next 3 days. Good luck trying to cut that toothpaste back in the tube. That's why the old Palace playbook doesn't hit like it used to. Put out a polished picture, people ask for the video. Release a smiling photo, people want to know what happened 30 seconds before and 30 seconds after. Nobody just accepts the highlight reel anymore. And here's what really makes me laugh. Some royal commentators still act like if a newspaper prints everything is wonderful, everybody's supposed to nod and move on. Mate, people have eyes. They watched the same event you did. You're not going to Jedi mind trick the entire internet into ignoring what they think they saw. That's why these conversations refuse to disappear. Once people start questioning the image, it's game on. Every appearance gets picked apart. Every interaction becomes a talking point. Every public outing starts another round of "Did you see that?" Whether you agree with the theories or not almost becomes secondary. The discussion has already escaped the palace gates. And that's the part that should make the royal PR machine nervous. They're not competing with one newspaper anymore. They're competing with millions of people who all have a camera and opinion, a meme account, and unlimited Wi-Fi. That's a fight no press office is winning. So if the strategy is smile for the cameras and hope everyone buys it, good luck with that. The internet retired that script a long time ago. Today, people don't just watch the show, they pause it, rewind it, zoom in, roast it, and turn it into tomorrow's trending topic. That's the new reality, whether the palace likes it or not.
Now, squaddies, here's where I think the conversation gets bigger than William and Kate. Forget the body language for a second. Forget who stood where or who looked at who. The real issue is trust. See, popularity is easy. You can buy ads, you can stage photo ops, you can roll out the fancy outfits, the perfect backdrop, the smiling family picture. That's the easy part. Trust. Trust is a different beast. You earn that one. And once people start losing it, good luck getting it back. Because here's how regular people think. If your neighbour keeps telling you everything at home is amazing, but every time you see them they're arguing through gritted teeth, eventually you're going to stop believing the sales pitch. You're not being nosy, you're just connecting the dots. That's where the palace has a problem. If people begin feeling that what they're being shown doesn't match what they think they're seeing, they don't just question one appearance, they start questioning everything. That polished family picture, people squint at it. That balcony wave, people wonder what's happening before the camera switched on. That official statement, half the internet is already asking, all right, what's the real story? And that's how confidence slips away. Not all at once, little by little. Now maybe William and Kate are still together. Maybe they're not. None of us knows what happens once the palace doors close, and pretending otherwise would be guesswork. But here's the thing. The fact that so many people are even asking the question tells you something. The conversation has reached a point where plenty of people no longer take the official image at face value. And that's a much bigger issue than one marriage. Because once people stop believing the picture you're trying to paint, every new picture has to work twice as hard. That's exhausting. It's like that friend who gets caught lying all the time. Even when they finally tell the truth, everybody in the group is sitting there thinking, are we sure? That's how trust works. It leaves quietly. It doesn't slam the door. It just packs its bags when nobody's looking. And let's be honest, squaddies, the palace has spent years polishing the brand, but here's the catch. You can't polish doubt away. If people feel they're being sold a fairy tale while noticing cracks in the walls, they'll keep asking questions. No press office can stop that. No carefully timed photo can stop that. No glowing headline can stop that. Because regular people don't like feeling they're being played. That's universal.
Whether you're talking about politics, celebrities, football clubs, or the royal family, once people think they're getting the Instagram version instead of real life, the side-eye begins. So maybe that's why every appearance now gets picked apart within minutes. It's not just gossip anymore, it's people trying to figure out what's genuine and what's carefully packaged. And in today's world, that's the hardest job any public figure has. You can protect an image for a while, but if people stop trusting it, the image starts working against you. That's a hole that's a lot deeper than one awkward appearance, and it's not one you climb out of with another smiling photo.
Now, Squaddies, let's be real for a second. Harry and Meghan didn't just leave the royal family. They changed how people watch the royal family. That's the part some folks still don't want to admit. Before they stepped back, a lot of people just accepted whatever headline landed on the breakfast table. Newspaper says this, fair enough. Palace says that, all right then, end of story. Not anymore. These days, people are like detectives with unlimited Wi-Fi. They're comparing headlines, screenshots, interviews, old clips, and receipts. Somebody posts one article, and within 30 seconds, another person pops up with, hold on, that's not what you said last year. The internet has become one giant fact-checking group chat, and honestly, it's hilarious to watch. And here's the question that refuses to disappear. What if Harry and Meghan had done this? That question is everywhere now. William does something, what if Harry did it? Kate appears somewhere, what if Meghan wore that? The comparisons never stop. Why? Because people are paying attention now. They aren't just reading the headline anymore, they're reading between the lines. And here's something that's pretty obvious if we're being honest. One thing is hard to deny. They look like two people who genuinely enjoy being around each other. They laugh together, they hold hands without it looking forced, they support each other naturally. You don't have to freeze frame every second to spot it, it just comes across as real, and that's probably why so many supporters connect with them. Meanwhile, every time Harry and Meghan smile together, somehow it's called a publicity stunt. Every hug gets analysed, every handhold becomes a debate. Yet when similar conversations pop up around other royals, suddenly everyone says, oh, let's not speculate. Come on now, pick a lane. That's exactly why so many viewers have started questioning how these stories are covered. Regular people hate double standards. Doesn't matter if it's your boss at work, your football referee, or your mum giving your little brother extra chips while telling you to eat vegetables. If the rules change depending on who's involved, people notice. That's human nature. Harry and Meghan didn't invent that. They simply made more people aware of it. Now audiences don't just consume royal news, they compare it. They ask questions, they challenge headlines, they remember old stories, they bring receipts. And that's a nightmare for anyone trying to control the conversation. The funny thing is, the more some newspapers go after Harry and Meghan, the more people start asking, hang on, why are they so obsessed? It's almost like they accidentally created their own fact-checkers. Royal coverage doesn't get a free pass anymore. The audience has become part of the story. They're watching the royals, but they're also watching the people reporting on the royals. And once people start questioning the referees instead of just the players, that's when the whole game changes. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this one, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and join the best squad on YouTube. Drop your thoughts in the comments, I want to hear from you. And if you really enjoyed the video, buy us a super thanks and help support the channel. Until next time, stay sharp, stay laughing, and don't let the headlines fool you. I'm your host Miles, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.